Hi, I'm Dr. Diane Craig. Welcome back. I'm so glad to be speaking with you today. For those of you who are joining us for the first time, I am 64 years old and have been a physician for 38 years. 30 of those years have been spent in the emergency department. I am nearing retirement and I am not ready to slow down yet. So I am starting an empowerment group entitled Too Soon to Stop. It is for people like myself who want to reinvent themselves. The focus is on people near retirement, but also it can be for younger people who have a shrewd and nimble mind to see the value of hanging around people who have been there and done that. Let me start by telling you about an incident that happened to me several years ago. I was attending a medical education conference. It is imperative that as long as I'm a physician that I stay up to date on the latest medical discoveries in order to be effective in my job. So I was at this conference and I was running late. Poor planning. Unfortunately, I had to use the bathroom and was irritated that I needed to take the time to do this instead of grabbing one of the choice seats in the conference room that are quickly snatched up by people who get there on time. So I noticed that there were a group of people walking swiftly in one direction. For some reason, I thought they were leading me to the bathroom. So I followed them because, well, I really had to use it. So I walked along with the crowd, and when I thought I saw the bathroom, I quickly ducked inside. However, when I walked inside, there was a man in there taking care of his business. Of course, I stopped dead in my tracks as we stared at each other in shock. If I were ever going to die of embarrassment, now would have been the time. I was in the men's bathroom. By the way, it has never been, to my knowledge, embarrassment a cause of death on any death certificate, but I was embarrassed. Back to the man taking care of his business. I'm sure he was as shocked as I was as we stared at each other. He said, "Hey, how are you doing?" My mother always taught me to speak back when someone speaks to me. So I said, "Hello." Because I was in a hurry and not paying attention, I had walked into the men's bathroom and I thought, boy, if I could make myself invisible or teleport myself or shrink myself down, this would be fine. None of these things happened. So I turned around and walked out as fast as I could. However, before I could reach the doorway, my boss was in the doorway coming in. Once again, I stopped cold and we stared at each other. Teleportation came to mind again, but this also was unsuccessful. He said to me, "What are you doing here?" All I could quickly say was, "Oh, I made a mistake," and walk out quickly and went to the correct bathroom. I was finally able to take care of my business while holding my head and shaking it and laughing at myself. I completed the conference, and on my way home, I told my husband of 25 years the entire story. His response was, "Again?" Yes, I've done this before. This is probably a silly illustration, but I tell it now to make several points to help you on your quest to reinvent yourself. Point one, I did not prepare. I had lost focus and I was very disorganized. In my quest to make up for lost time, I was rushing thinking it would be good enough. It wasn't. It's important to go for your dreams, but don't rush through them. Do the preparation. Shortcuts have their place, but not during the preparation process. You have to take your time, do your homework, and pay attention to the details. Be organized and allow yourself the time needed to complete your project with excellence. Put in the hard work. I should have gotten up early and been more organized. It wasn't that I didn't know that the conference was going on that day. I knew it. I just wasn't organized. I hit that demon of the morning, the snooze button. Now let's keep it real. Does that 10-minute make any difference? Well, it did not for me. It added to my stress level because I was running late. There will be plenty of days of hard work, planning, and sleepless night trying to rack your brain as to how to figure this thing out. Please keep going. Please be patient. This will be something wonderful that you are pursuing, and it will impact many people, and you'll feel great about it. Do not hide your light under a rock. Point 2, people will begin to notice something different about you, and you will no longer blend in the crowd. Well, I obviously stuck out like a sore thumb in the men's bathroom. People will know that you were doing something different. They will begin to question, what are you doing? Some will mean well, but some will want to hurt you. Others are not supportive and would try to discourage you so that they don't look bad. After all, they knew you back when, and here you are trying to become something different and better. As you travel on your growth journey, expect to be talked about and looked at oddly. Sometimes those that know us best know that they are trying to help us, but they want us to stay in our comfort zone. Remember that you are not going down this road for anyone else's approval but yourself. Please have the courage to live out your dream. So few do, and as a result, accept a life of mediocrity. You have done this far too long. Now is the time to implement the change that you have been craving for all these decades. The man in the bathroom, part 3. He said, how are you doing? Sometimes people will run into you and they will try to relate to what you're doing, but they don't have a clue. They make statements based on their own life's experience, which is the opposite of what your goals are. My goal was to go to the bathroom, but not in the men's bathroom. You will find yourself in the wrong class, wrong support group. It is important that you recognize this quickly so you don't waste time and give up frustrated and use this as an excuse to give up. Remember, giving up means settling for mediocrity. Leave the class or support group. Continue to look for what is best for you. Point 4. I ran into my boss. Well, you will run into people that are knowledgeable and supportive. This is where your elevator speech comes into play. These people are busy and always looking to expand their sphere of network and new blood. These will be sharp people that you can learn from. Be prepared to ask intelligent questions that will illustrate your knowledge and allow the other individual to help you to get to the next level. However, you cannot approach these sharp people with your hand out asking for things. Always have something to offer them first. Do your homework. Ask them what you can do for them and be specific. Do not approach them with anything that you're asking for first. This is a major turnoff for sharp people. And this is because people are always approaching them and asking them for things. You will be a standout if you offer something first because you have done your research and you know what you're talking about. This will not only impress them, even if they don't need anything at the time, but you will stick out in their minds. You never know who knows who, and your name may come up in a conversation with one of their friends, and boom! There comes the opportunity you have been waiting for all this time. Good on you. Point 5. I laughed at myself when I finally reached my intended destination. Have you learned to use humor in things and not take yourself so seriously? Have fun. Humor is an essential part of success. Learn to see things from a lighter perspective, but by all means, learn. It not only helps to spur your creativity, but it will also help you feel better about yourself and useful to others. You are going to impact others' lives for generations. Be observant and learn and realize that God can use anything to teach us. Do you know you can learn from Mickey Mouse? Well, that sounds crazy, but it's true. Mickey Mouse is friendly, he's helpful, and he's fun to be around. Can we all grow in these areas? Remember, there is a time for everything, just as it says in Ecclesiastes. It talks about eating and drinking and being merry. God wants us to pursue our dreams, but not to be overly burdened by being unhappy during the pursuit. I was watching a show with Will Smith several years ago. And to this day, I still remember something he said. He said, have fun every day. This is a learning process. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Don't limit yourself to telling yourself, I can only learn from X. Look around. Be observant. It will spur your creative spirit.
Point 6. I followed through and went to the conference. Stay focused. Expect mistakes to happen. Sometimes you will be embarrassed and even discouraged. cannot allow this to sideline progress. Do not allow those seeds of doubt to creep in and allow a beat down to your self-esteem. We are all human and will mess up from time to time. However, paying attention to details will allow progress to continue. Remember the movie What About Bob? It features a dysfunctional man portrayed by Bill Murray and his psychiatrist portrayed by Richard Dreyfuss. Bob was able to go from being afraid of everything to being very successful by taking baby steps as was taught by the psychiatrist. This is imperative. Keep your eye on the 1% daily growth. By the end of a month, you will have 30% more clarity toward reaching your focused goal. You make a mistake, keep going. If you fall down 10 times, get up 11. This is a quote from Denzel Washington, and we all know how successful he is. Point 7. So I went home after the conference and told my husband. His response, again? Yes, I have gone into the wrong bathroom before for the same reason. Rushing and not paying attention. There will be people in our lives that know us better than we know ourselves and are not afraid to tell us the truth. They are loyal to the end and always in our corner. Keep them around and listen to them. Never take them for granted. I think I will keep my hubby around. It is imperative to stay focused, and it is also imperative that we take the time to take care of ourselves. Do not neglect the need for spiritual nourishment as well as intellectual nourishment. Meditate, pray, read, work hard. Fill up your cup first. Oprah Winfrey talks about this in one of her graduation speeches on the internet. If it is in your very DNA to accomplish a dream, then must be done in a way that you have taken care of your spiritual need first in order to fill your cup. Then you can let your cup run over so that you can give to others. There's a reason why airlines tell you to put your oxygen mask on first, then tend to others. Well, that's all for this week. I am praying for your success and would love to see you surpass the accomplishments I have already achieved. I see myself as God's tool to help you achieve your greatness, whatever that is. I will allow God to do with me what He wants to help you. Finally, a quote from Oscar Wilde. Be yourself. Everyone else is taken. Till next week, take care and stay focused. And by all means, have fun.